There comes a moment when life stops distracting you, and suddenly, you're left with yourself. The silence feels heavy, the hours stretch, and you start to wonder if maybe something's missing. We've all been there. That strange discomfort when no one calls, when the messages stop, when the house feels too quiet. It's not the loneliness that hurts, it's the fear behind it. The fear that without others, we might disappear. But solitude isn't punishment. It's an invitation. A sacred doorway to meet the parts of you you've been too busy to hear. When you sit in silence long enough, you start noticing things. The texture of your breath. The small tremor in your chest. The way your mind races, trying to fill every empty space with noise or memory. We are taught to run from quiet. To fill it with sound, screens, conversations, anything that makes us feel seen. But solitude is not emptiness, it's space. And in that space, life begins to whisper. At first, those whispers feel uncomfortable. They tell you truths you've ignored. They remind you of the love you kept giving to people who couldn't meet you there. You'll resist. You'll reach for your phone. You'll scroll through old messages, just to feel something familiar. But if you stay, if you let the quiet unfold, something shifts. You begin to see how much of your life was spent trying to earn presence instead of being it. Loneliness says, "No one is here for me." Solitude answers, "I am here for myself." And that changes everything. Because when you're no longer afraid to be with yourself, you stop begging the world to make you feel whole. You stop chasing conversations that leave you emptier. You stop mistaking attention for affection. You start to enjoy your own company, your laughter, your stillness. The strange peace of not having to perform. At first, you'll think something's wrong. That you've gone cold, or distant, or detached. But what's really happening is healing. You're returning to your own center. Solitude teaches you what no relationship can, that love is not found in constant connection, but in inner balance. The more you learn to enjoy being alone, the less alone you'll ever feel. Because the truth is, loneliness is not a lack of people. It's a lack of connection to yourself. When you remember who you are, even silence feels like home. You'll start noticing beauty in the smallest moments. The sunlight on your wall. The sound of distant rain. The taste of your coffee. Things that used to blur under the noise of wanting suddenly feel sacred. You begin to realize that peace was never something to find, it was something you had to stop avoiding. There's a gentle strength in walking alone. It's not isolation, it's awareness. It's knowing you can love people deeply without losing yourself inside them. It's knowing your worth doesn't depend on who chooses you. Because when you fill your own silence, you become impossible to abandon. People will still come and go, but they'll meet you on different ground. You'll no longer cling, you'll connect. You'll no longer fear loss, you'll trust flow. That's the art of solitude, it transforms fear into freedom. And in that freedom, you find the rarest peace of all, the peace of being whole, with or without company. Sometimes you'll still feel the ache. That's okay. Healing doesn't erase longing, it just teaches it patience. You can miss people, and still love your own presence. You can feel empty, and still know you are complete. You can sit alone, and still feel surrounded by something larger, call it life, call it spirit, call it love. Because solitude connects you to the invisible. It's in those quiet hours that intuition returns, that creativity wakes, that your heart starts to listen to its own rhythm again. Every person needs that space. Without it, we live like echoes, repeating other people's voices, forgetting our own. But in solitude, you begin to write your own language again. You remember what truly matters to you. What kind of love you want. What kind of peace you crave. What kind of life feels like truth. And from there, everything changes. You stop settling for half-hearted presence. You stop saying yes when your soul means no. You stop trying to fix what drains you. You learn to sit in silence until your heart speaks clearly. And when it does, you listen. If these words touch something inside you, stay with me a little longer. Let's keep walking this path together. Because healing was never meant to be rushed, only understood. One day, You'll wake up and realize that your solitude has become your sanctuary. The silence that once scared you now holds you. The stillness that felt empty now fills you. You'll pour your coffee, open the window, and feel the quiet morning as a companion, not a void. You'll catch yourself smiling for no reason. Because peace, when it finally comes, doesn't need an audience. It just needs your presence. And that's what solitude really is, the return of your own presence. The rediscovery of your own light. The gentle knowing that even in your aloneness, you are never truly alone. Because you exist. Because you breathe. Because life itself sits quietly beside you, waiting to be noticed. Thank you for being here with me. Take care of your heart. And may love always guide your path.